In the last episode of our role-playing run in Italy, we actually managed to conquer enough counties in southern Italy to have the possibility then to claim for the Kingdom of Sicily. And this basically means that our ruler Bastiano now became King Bastiano of Sicily at the age of 50. So it's kind of old, I would say, but it's still doing fine in terms of health. And even if he should feel poorly in the near future, that's not going to be a reason for concern, because we already have an heir, Prince Bastiano, so he's also named like his father. And this basically means that having an heir, we are ready to inherit with our next ruler, who is already 18, so there should not be huge problems there. In today's episode, I think I will focus mainly on managing the internal affair of the realm. I would like to start actively working on the development of our counties in Sicily. Also because later on, also thinking of when hopefully I will also conquer Enna and Siracusa, currently under the Byzantine Empire, then of course Sicily will become the center of my kingdom. So I will give away the other counties and duchies to vassals, but I will keep here in Sicily later on all my actual domains. That's why it's important to work on their development, and this is something that we can start doing in this episode. But before we do that, let's take a quick look at all the notifications and then we can decide how to proceed. Law control in counties Palermo and Messina. What is the Marshal doing right now? He's increasing control in Benevento, and it will take still 6 years. Let's leave it there for the moment, and then we will move to Sicily later on once we complete in Benevento. I am slightly above domain limit. I have 8 domains and I can have up to 6, but for the moment it's going to be fine. Then what we can do, let's take a look here. Convert fate. We definitely need to do it. Let's start from Palermo. 7 years. I can ask the head of fate for gold. It will cost me some piety, but I can afford right now, and I don't really need to use this piety right now. Very well, the Pope granted me additional gold. Faction created against me. This is a Maghreb Yashari populist, but they are just too weak right now, so I'm not going to be particularly concerned. And then we have an event that we can take care here at court. In the meantime, we have fulfilled the betrothal, very good. But let's take a look at the royal court. A knight's declaration. So, my knight Sebastiano, Catholic Cisalpine, lowborn, with only 9 of prowess, is proclaiming words of love for my wife Oda, a Catholic Franconian of 43 years. Is he reciting romantic poetry to my wife? So if I will throw him in prison, in the dungeon, I will spend 350 of prestige, but I will not be seen as a tyrant because this is considered a fair reason. I will unfortunately form a rivalry with Sebastiano if I go into this direction, and he will lose opinion of me. Alternatively, I could let him be, but then this is not something that I can select, because just as a reminder, this is basically a role-playing run where I'm trying to stick as much as possible to the characteristics, to the character of the ruler, and as the ruler is lustful and this will give us stress, the third option is definitely not to be considered. So the option is between the first and the second. So if I go for the second, I will lose a little bit of prestige. Both the queen and the knight will lose opinion of me, but there will be no rivalry. So let's go for this. It's a little bit more moderate. I can also hold court, but before let me take a look at something. Okay, my wife has a plus 12 of opinion. Let's hold court. This is the first time that we are holding court, because now that we are finally king we can do it, so let's celebrate. And here we have the first challenge. Yes, my lord, is Stammers. I am Biagio, representing the disgruntled traders and freemen of Catanzaro, Rossano's greatest city. Bianca, our major, is a barrier to commerce and the town's interest. We humbly ask you she be replaced by someone else. So if I depose Major Bianca, I will form a rivalry with her, or at least we will go into that direction, which of course is not good. Development growth plus 20% and popular opinion plus 10, and it cost me only 65 units of gold if I decide to compensate the town's merchant with my own gold. Probably it will be the best strategy, I would say. My courtier Giuseppa shows me a page filled with unfamiliar symbols, insisting on its legibility. I have developed a written language specifically for the women of the court, since the letters are mostly taught to men. If you allow it, I will begin teaching the ladies at once. What a great idea! All female courtiers will gain 10 of opinion, and there will be language of women. So every woman basically will improve diplomacy and learning. Or we can make a better use of your talents. Giuseppe loses 15 of opinion, and we have scheme secrecy improved by 80%. Definitely, this is going to be my option. Then open carry. Two of my vassals are pushing one another and jostling to reach my throne first. Major Dora bows before me. My lord, murder is wanton in the city streets through Kingdom of Sicily. It will be civilizing if we instituted a ban of townspeople bearing arms, at least within city limits. Major Bernardo kicks her out of the way. Safety is each man learning to protect himself. Banning carry of weaponry will castrate the townspeople. I think it's better to keep our sword. We gain open weapon carry permitted, popular opinion plus 10 for 50 years, and then one of the majors, who is also my nephew, will increase his opinion. We don't care that much of Major Dora, so let's keep our swords. And my business here is done. Should I already move the capital to Palermo? Probably that could be a nice thing to do. A faction targeting you has disbanded just by moving the capital to Palermo. Very good. Enthusiastic conversion. Well-organized court. Very well. Romance. Unpleasant pleasantries. I'm attending a dance in Cieszyn to spend some time with Olga von Bamberg. We are actually romancing her. The mere thought of touching hands makes my heart jump, but when I arrive I find her stuck in a conversation with Major of Bielsko. The brooding woman drones on and on, totally oblivious to Olga's discomfort. A little distraction seems appropriate. The scheme romance Olga von Bamberg gains kindness. Scheme success chance plus 10%, not bad. As we have a clear focus for intrigue, this is also coherent for our character, so let's go in this direction. And Queen Oda gained the trait pregnant, which is not ideal because it could be another son, and this could ruin the succession. I could murder my own wife before she gives birth. I mean, it's not nice to murder someone as Catholic, but again, we have a clear intrigue focus, so we could do that. Maybe we don't want to risk the succession, so we don't want to wait to figure out if the child that my wife is carrying is a son or a daughter. We don't take this risk, and we simply try to get rid of Queen Oda. Start scheme, 90-95%. Let's see. But in 12 months, I'm not sure if I will be able to kill my wife before she gives birth. Maybe if I move The spy master on support schemes. Decrease the speed, 9 months. Come on, before she gives birth, guys. We can do it. We can do it. We cannot afford to have another son. With the sadistic trait, we would have been able to scheme against a potential second son. But as we don't have him, we have to instead use this approach. And it's still coherent to the character and to the general role-playing purpose. Now I think I can build in Palermo, yes. It's a daughter, by the way. So we didn't manage to kill Oda before she gave birth, but luckily it's just a little girl. Colella, I don't think it's a good name. Let's pick a good Sicilian name, Cecilia, okay, very good. We will still continue the scheme, by the way, because I do not want to divorce. I don't have also a lot of piety, so I think it's better to simply get rid of the wife and get a woman who is infertile as next wife, because I cannot risk another pregnancy. And now let's focus on Palermo. We need to build something here. A number of knights +2 will be very nice, by the way. Let's do it. Military academies. No, but I cannot build it. Okay, so I have first to convert also the culture. That's something I did not consider. I was working on the development of the county, not on promoting the Sicilian culture. And it will take 6 years, unfortunately. Uninvited, one of my agents has acquired a deadly spire and arranged for a servant to hide it in Queen Soda bed before dark. All they need is my go-ahead and she will be as good as dead the moment the spire strikes. Let's go. Let's try. Queen Oda is dead. Thankfully, spiders do not talk, so the attack cannot be traced back to me. This is good. Because now we have the chance to remarry, and this time we will marry with an infertile woman with an alliance power. I think I will have to settle for this one, even though she's 57, but she's doing fine. She's drunkard though. Chances of having children are basically none. She will accept. Let's do it. I can vassalize Duchess Berta of Capua, offer vassalage, let's do it. To the charming King Bastiano of Sicily, the marriage proposal is accepted, so now we have a wife. Let's leave her on patronage. She cannot help significantly there, she only has 3, so let's use her instead for court politics. So she took my diplomacy up to 12. And because we vassalized Duchess Berta, now we have extended significantly our influence in Italy. This was very nice, actually. I didn't think it would have been this easy, also because I was not looking for that vassalization opportunity. It was basically the game that offered this possibility. I didn't notice that I had this possibility, but now because of this, Berta has decided to go under me. Of course, it's quite inconvenient that she has all these territories. Because of course then she will become a powerful vassal. Right now she's only 9 years old, so it's easy to manage, but later on she will be a pain in the neck. But it's still nice to see that now Sicily expanded significantly. And it is nice that we own all these counties that belong to the Sicilian culture, and of course we will also convert as soon as possible Palermo and Messina. So we have also consolidated even further our role as culture head of the Sicilians, because now we basically take control of the 13 Sicilian counties. So we are undisputed. Prince Bastiano of Sicily, who is now 21 years old and is still not having kids with his wife Stanislava von Babenberg. What's going on here, guys? Make kids. Come on. Ah, moreover, Prince Bastiano has a rival already, Garibaldi von Chile, 23 years old, my knight. I don't like this. I think I will have to get rid of him, unfortunately. Cannot allow him to threaten my son. Start a scheme. And of course, immediately Prince Bastiano joined the scheme automatically, because cannot tolerate the guy. And now we can declare war again on Ermelinda. We should not hesitate, I believe. And declare war. I have already a claim on Foggia, so we are fine with that. 94 of prestige, we have plenty, so let's do it. Plus 14, and now we can start the siege. 8 months. Yes, the siege is completed. We took Ermelinda, who was actually sitting in Foggia, and then we can enforce demands and disband the army. Very good. Another county that falls under the crown of the Kingdom of Sicily. And here we have in choppy waters, we have 95% of chances of killing Garibaldi von Chile, who is my knight and actually a good one, but unfortunately is also a rival of my son and heir, so we need to get rid of him, even though he has this beautiful 14 of prowess. So let's try to kill him. Garibaldi is dead. Very good. Such a tragedy. So Countess Sunigilda was my lover. She has lost a child, which in this case is good, because actually it could have been then a bastard. But then maybe I should also hand this affair. No, not really, because after all we are lustful, so it's okay. Plus she was pretty, so it's fine. Luckily she has lost the child. And we have apparently a new event at court, getting ahead. A flock of rat men burst into my throne room, hectically searching the floor and uprooting everything from chairs to skirts in frantic search. King Bastiano, cries one, we are the followers of Alessio the Headless, a great holy man who has been decapitated as part of a prophecy God gave him at birth. As often happens with holy figures, his head started rolling away. We have been chasing it through the land, and are certain it rolled up the hillock into your castle. I will not allow a cult to rampage through my court. This will give me court grandeur, and also the bishop will be very happy of that. He will increase his opinion of me. 88% of chances of intimidating the cult. And I've been overwhelmed by stress with this getting ahead challenge. I'm not sure why. Let's find out what happened. One night I blink awake and find myself being straddled. This is no hedonic dream. That deranged monk who broke into my throne room is holding a scalpel to my throat. I suppose if you bar us from seeking the head, we could settle for yours. So rotund and shiny, I wager it will roll nicely. Wow, we are risking our death here. This is Vinciguerra di Trani with this psycho face. You are partially decapitated. No, I don't want to be the headless. I don't want to be remembered as the headless. I mean, the first king of Sicily cannot be the headless. What it makes sense considering the traits? We are ambitious, patient, lustful. Okay, we are patient. We are patient. Let's try to find a compromise, right? Because we are patient. So why don't we go look for it right now? Let's try. The basements of my castle have far more useless trinkets than I'd care to admit. Each time Vinciguerra opens a new door, I expect him to be crushed by a pile of curios. I had even forgotten my precious silver cross down here. After some congenial rummaging, we do not find the head, but Vinciguerra seems fascinated with everything. Considering the delicacy with which he examines an abandoned oak-shaped chess piece, he might make a valuable antiquarian. Wow, should I really make as an antiquarian somebody who threatened to my life? You will dismiss Giuseppe as your antiquarian and appoint Vinciguerra. I don't think so. You gain 10 of court grandeur, set your lodging standards amenity to middling lodgings. It will have an higher maintenance, but it's fine. Let's go for this option. Of course, we're getting a lot of stress, and we reach the stress level 1. I could go to the brothel, and this will bring me relief, and of course we are lustful, so I think I should go into this direction. I already know that this is a dangerous path, because I could get some disease there, and that could, of course, let's say, decrease our life expectancy. But as I said, this is a role-playing run, we are lustful, so of course we are going to the brothel. And I'm no longer overwhelmed by stress. I have reached the age of 56, my health is still fine. Let's then reach the 14th of February, St. Valentine's Day. There have been a lot of changes here in Burgundy, and I will say that for St. Valentine's Day we could close the episode here. I mean, after all, our King Bastiano, lustful man who has a lover, I think it's the right day to end the episode for today. I hope you enjoyed. I think it was a very fruitful episode. We didn't manage to improve further, to develop further the counties in Sicily, but we managed to expand significantly our borders with the vassalization of this little girl, Duchess Berta. And in all of this, we also managed to conquer military Foggia. So I will say that there have been nice, interesting progresses in the course of this episode, so I can only invite to keep following this series. Just one reminder though, we are in the middle of summer, which means that I cannot really grant when the next episode will be out, but trust me, I will continue this run. So if you are enjoying, please stick around, and if this will be the case, of course, we will see you in the next video. Cheers, guys!